I'm Sharon Evans and I'm Head of Partnerships and Volunteering at ACAA, which is the Afghan Refugee Centre in Feltham in West London. But we don't only take Afghan refugees, we help all migrants from all over the world, and anyone can come here to receive help and support. I was inspired to join ACAA because of the family that set this charity up. Dr. Nassimi and his wife came here 22 years ago in a refrigeration lorry, fleeing from persecution in Afghanistan. And this centre has been set up to help people with everything that they know would have helped them at this time. It's my passion to help them because my background is journalism. I was a television presenter. I worked at the BBC, ITV and Sky News, and my skill set is around communications. So I'm focusing on helping the charity to raise awareness of the great work that they do, but also to encourage as many volunteers and interns as I can to come here to ACAA and help us to help the beneficiaries. Well, what anybody needs to know about working at ACAA is that there is no normal day at work. The really amazing thing about working here is that we help people all the time. We never know who's going to come through the door. We never know when the phone is going to ring and what kind of crisis we might be facing and we might need to support people through. So I think one of the interesting things about working here is that it's always different and it's never boring and you never know what is going to happen next. Now that's not for everybody, but a lot of the people that come here really enjoy the fact that you get very close contact with the people that we help. And one of the most rewarding things for me is that I have been directly involved with children and their families, and with very simple things, phone calls, letters, and just listening to people, we've been able to make a difference to people's lives. So I think there are very few jobs where you can say that every single day you make a difference in the world, but you do at ACAA. Well, my journey into ACAA very much started because I'm a journalist and I have communication skills. But I know from my own personal journey into work, I actually got a job at the BBC because I went and volunteered for a few weekends to see if I could help. And in a very short space of time, I was offered a short-term contract. I've seen the same thing happen here at ACAA at the charity. People who intern and volunteer, we have a number of staff members who used to be interns. So I would really encourage you, if you are interested in an area of work, to see if there are opportunities to volunteer your time or to work as an intern, because A, it gives you a very good insight, it gives you good training and good opportunities. I think the charity industry is a really good way and a really good route into meeting other organisations, because all charities tend to work in partnership. So if you come to volunteer at ACAA or do an internship, then for example, if you were working with me, we would be working with Hounslow Council, Hammersmith Council, Richmond Council, the local police. There are lots of different organisations that we partner with. So I think that's one very good way to be looking at all kinds of opportunities in life, and this gives you access to that. I think the other route that's really important is that as individuals we all have a certain skill set or we enjoy certain things, and I know when I'm interviewing people, if they tell me that they have a particular skill in photography or in IT or particularly language skills, then that gives me an understanding of the kind of jobs or skills or tasks that those people could do for us. So I would always pursue the things that you enjoy, make them into as good a skill as you can, and then you've got something to offer to an employer or as a volunteer. So if you're interested in working in the charity sector, one thing that I would say to you as a word of advice is that it is actually very hard work. Don't think about the charity sector as something that is maybe easy to do. It's very hard when you come in and you see people that are suffering and difficulties that they're facing, and trying to keep a balance in helping a large number of people is actually quite difficult. It's very hard work. You often work hours long beyond what you would expect to do because you feel that you can't go home until something is finished. And also, people that work in the charity sector who are successful put their hearts and souls into it and are fully committed to it. So don't come to work in this sector unless you can volunteer and you intend to follow through, because that is a very important part of the role. And that kind of integrity really shows through in the volunteers. Well, when I was young, I definitely wanted to be a newsreader and a journalist because I thought that could change the world. But now I've actually worked in the charity sector and I see what's really happening on the ground for refugees and asylum seekers. I do sometimes wonder if I would have been better off going into politics, because I think there's a massive disconnect between what really happens that charities see happening and potentially what filters through to local authorities and people that work within the civil service. And that's not really their fault, it's just it's very difficult for them to know. But I do sometimes wish that I could be in a position of power politically so that I could make the changes that would make a huge difference to people's lives. I mean,